Good day and many thanks for joining us on your program. I Am Woman, coming to you from New Frontiers Television. In case it is your own first time of tuning in, this is a program where we'll bring up women-related issues and we'll discuss it. We are not calling ourselves out for banters, just call ourselves to find profile solutions to some of the challenges or problems that might be facing womanhood. So we talk about business, family, entrepreneur, parenting, and all. So this is just a program where we bring up women-related issues for discussion. So in case you are just tuning in for the first time, I want to say you are welcome on board on iWoman on New Frontiers Television, and I am your host on the show, Temitope Oladeko. Yesterday, we are looking at a very important topic that has to do with parenting, particularly looking at the growing trend of lazy parenting in the society today. And just like I said earlier, that we are not having this conversation for banters or to accuse anyone of wrongdoing. It's just calling ourselves out to provide solutions to the problem of parenting. Not problem actually, like some of the challenges that come with parenting. It is understandable that parenting can be challenging and overwhelming. Hence why we have, perhaps could be responsible for why we have overwhelming or lazy parenting. But as it is now, someone is at the center of all of this. When you are talking about parenting, that means we have child or children at the center, and parenting is about modeling the children or the child as the case may be. Hence why there is a need for us to have this conversation on looking at the growing trend of lazy parenting or overwhelming parenting as the case may be, and looking at how we can provide solutions to it, striking a balance between parenting and we still being a high flyer in our choosing careers or business. Yes, I'm not going to do the conversation alone. Today, I have with me Mrs. Adebisi James. Mrs. Adebisi James is a wife of the Director of Youth and Students of the Nigerian Baptist Convention. Mommy, it's good to have you on the program, ma.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming.
The Lord bless you. It's nice being here.
Yeah, it's nice having you too.
Thank you.
So I want us to first talk about parenting, let's say when we were growing up or when you were growing up, and parenting of today. So would you say something is missing?
There is a gap between when we are growing up and now, because then our parents have time for us. Most of the parents there, especially women, they are always at home. But now we are career people wanting to balance everything. But then our mommies always stay at home, taking care of us. And most of them who worked, they worked as maybe they close by 2 or 1, so that before the children get back home, they are already at home waiting for them. But this generation, most of the parents, including mommies, will close by 5, get home by 6. At times, people who work at Lagos, most of the time I ask my sister-in-law, have you got back home? At times, like 8 p.m., she will say, no, she's still on the road. I will say, wow. So, parenting in those days and these days is different because there's just too wide gap. Because we are striving to balance everything. You want to have more money. You want to cater for your children. Maybe you want to send your child to a private school. And you know that one salary cannot be enough. By so doing, you look for extra income, looking for another work, another things to do, so that at least we'll be able to meet up. So parenting in those days is different from parenting now. In those days, our parents, they have time for us. They pay attention to us. They understand what we are saying. But now, because of generational gap and because of globalization, most parents don't have that time for their children.
So what would you say are the parenting styles that has maybe the shift in the parenting style? What do we have today compared to the olden days?
In those days, only one woman will give birth to a child. More than 10 people will help you to bring it up. But this generation, a parent, especially mother, who want to do everything by herself. If the school train or correct the child, they might go back to school and say, why did you beat my child? But in those days, an external person can give your child a knock. You dare not complain. Other women in the house can train your child. You dare not complain. But now, Many of us are training our children like egg that nobody should touch. So all these things are creating problem of indiscipline in the society, creating problem of moral decadency in the society, because most of those things that we learn is not only our biological parents who taught us in those days, but now many people seem not to understand, or something is missing. You want to train your child only by yourself, which is the problem. So in those days, we have so many parents, teachers who train you. But in these days, even if teachers scold you, your parents have that courage to go back to school. At times, you see teachers beating up, you see parents beating up teachers because they beat their words.
Okay, like I said, we are looking at a topic that says the growing trend of lazy parenting. And that is something I would actually like us to establish before we move on with this conversation today. And that is we looking at the gap or the difference between a lazy parenting and overwhelming parenting. A video went viral at the point of some teachers in a particular school talking about how some parents would just drop their children with yesterday diaper. Like yesterday diaper, food that is almost spoiled inside their food flask and all of that. And I when I saw the video, I was asking myself, can we say this is laziness, or maybe because the parent was just nonchalant about it? So I like us to quickly establish that, the difference between lazy parenting and overwhelming.
Lazy parenting simply means a parent who is not motivated to do anything. Anything, I mean anything. While overwhelming parenting are parents who have enough to do. I'm going to use this rubber band. You know, if we say you are overwhelmed, you are too stressed, you are stressed off on the responsibilities. By the time you begin to pull this rubber band to a minute, you just do pow. It's caught. So we have many parents who are overwhelmed because of the responsibilities saddled on them that they need to oversee.
That is, so lazy parenting is just like you are not paying attention.
You are not paying attention to anything. You have so many things to do, but the era of all this social media, you can be on your phone for hours and you have your work laid down. You want to cook, you want to go to the market, you want to do everything. Before you knew it, time has gone. Pew! You have not done anything. That is why I always tell parents that we should always ask ourselves, if you wake up in the morning around 5, ask yourself before you go to bed, what have you achieved? What value have you added to your life that day? Is it everything that you spell out that you want to do, that you're able to do? If no, what are the things that made you not to do them? We need to ask ourselves those questions.
So is it a bad idea to just wanting to do something just beyond parenting? Like me being an high flyer, I want to make impact in the life of people, want to go extra mile just to make sure that my impact is being felt, and I'm just doing something beyond me being a parent.
There's nothing bad in it. There's nothing bad in it, because this is the era of being impactful. You are created so that you discover your purpose. As you are discovering your purpose, there's the need to balance it up. I could remember that when I gave birth to my last child, I went back to school. So as a career woman, as a pastor's wife, I have so many things to do. So by the grace of God, I was able to balance it with the help of my husband. So it's not a crime for us to want to get to the top there. Because in the Bible, we have a woman who was the prophetess. She was a career woman, a mother, a judge, and she was able to balance everything. So that has been my own watchword. Even Proverbs 31, that said that woman will arise early in the morning. She knows what to do at a particular time. So all those things, once we prioritize what we want to do, it will really help. So it's not a crime for us to move forward in our career. Knowing fully that before we got married, God has not positioned any woman that it is until you get wedded before you'll be useful, before you'll be impactful. As a single parent or as single who is yet to get married, you are to focus, you are to follow how you become purposeful in life.
Okay, now, you know, in this African setting, when a woman decide, or maybe a couple decides to have just one child, it becomes a problem for the extended family. Oh, how will you decide to have one child? And just like Yoruba will say, Olomoko kuro lagan, that if we have a child, you are more or less a barren person. But for me, maybe it's what they can take, it's what their strength, their capacity can actually take care of. So, but the question now is, who should be the decider of the number of children that they will have in the home? Is it both party, or a woman or a man? Let's consider the resources available, their capacity, and every other thing that they need to consider.
Two of them, both wife and the husband, they will be wife and they will be husband before they enter into marriage. They need to settle down and decide on the numbers of children they will have. Because failure to debate or to agree will lead to problem. We always call something that if you enter into marriage, bear what car can carry. You know that there's only space for 3 children at the back. I'm talking about normal car now. So father at the front, mother beside the father, then the children at the back. By the time you overstretch and you have about 4 or 5 children, that means you are carrying overload already. So mother will be father, need to settle down to agree on the numbers of children they will have when they enter into marriage. I could remember during my own, we were not able to agree. I said 4, my husband said 3. But because nobody taught me that parenting and all this pregnancy is a work on its own. But when I gave birth to my first child, I said, so this is how the thing look like. I beg, 2. So from 4, I said 2. So at the end of the day, eventually we agree. So to the glory of God, they are 3 now.
Okay.
Because knowing fully that nobody starts us down, that parenting is a lifelong process and a work. Because if you want to have children who are Christian, who will balance everything in life, you need to settle down, both wife and husband. They need to agree on so many things.
All right, I'd like us to talk about the pressure that the society also puts on parents. We are in a technology world. Yeah. Technology keeps advancing. In church on Sunday, you will see some children coming to church with phones, tablets. And when you ask them about the price, it's hundreds of thousands naira, hundreds of thousands. And you come to ask that, okay, and these are your children also seeing people like this come with mobile devices, and they'll come to meet you. Mommy, daddy, we want this, we want that. And this is you as a parent. You want to meet their needs. You want to let them have whatever they want. So at what point do you think a parent should, maybe there should be some kind of teaching, or let them know that they cannot have everything they want? And what are those things that you consider so important for every child to have?
Thank you. I think parents need to teach their children the contents of being satisfied with what they have, contentment. By the time you open up to them and they see that you as parent, whatsoever thing that you have, you love what you have. I always tell my children, anything that I have, that's the best. Anything that I give to you, that's the best. So parents should allow the children to know that fingers are not equal. Those parents that are giving their children phone now, go and check their pulse. Maybe God has blessed them, but you know that even our fingers are not equal. So as time goes by, there are some things that you need that God will provide for us, that we give to you. So we should learn to train our children to be contented with anything that their parents give to them. If somebody is going with an iPhone and your parents could not give you iPhone, manage what your parents have given you. I could remember in those days, even when you finish SS3, you don't have phone. But now because of registration, NIN and everything, parents are forced to give their children phone. So as you are giving them phone, let them have the understanding that this is what you could afford. They should not start to compare themselves with others. No. So if children see that, my parent, this is what they could afford, with understanding, they will manage and appreciate what you have given them. I always tell children to learn to appreciate. There are some people that are better off. Don't always look at people who are better off. You too, you are better than some people. So we need to teach our children to understand it as they are growing. Not that you give your child yam with egg or stew to school, and if that child comes by and complain, hey, this person brought indomie with chicken, with everything, tell your child that is what you have, that you give. So I always tell them, as a teacher too, I always send it to the hearing of my children that time, that anything that your parents give you, appreciate it. They've gone, you don't know the numbers of miles they were able to go before getting you that thing. So we need to teach them to appreciate whatsoever we are giving them now.
I think we should give kudos to our parents. I mean, our own parents. For some of them made sacrifice.
Yes.
Some of them decided to just stay back at home to nurture us, and they gave up on their own life. But this 21st century parenting, we just want to be everything. We just want to be everywhere. And I understand the fact that I don't have to put my life on hold, or I don't have to lose myself because I'm raising children.
No.
I need to grow as my children are growing as well. So my life is not supposed to be on hold because I have children or I lose myself in the process. Now let's talk about how do we go about all of this. This is me pursuing my career. This is children still growing. I'm still raising children, modeling them. Let me use that word, modeling children. So how do we strike a balance in all of this?
As we are growing, you want to pursue your career, you have children that are growing. I think the wife and the husband need to agree on so many things. There are some things that the husband will have to pay price about too. Because I could remember when I was going back to school, my husband paid the price. He's a busy person. But that time, he had to slow down his outside visitation, outside invites, everything. So he reduced everything because of the children. And he invites some people to come and stay with the children, people who we trusted. So most of the time, even if I'm not around, this person will help them with their assignments, help them with virtually everything. She helped them to wash their uniform, to do the assignment, help them to do virtually everything at home. But I trusted her.
Okay.
You know, most of the time now, we women, we hardly trust people, especially if she is a woman like us, or a single lady, or a single or a sister in the church, or a kind of being suspicious that, oh, hope anything is not going hope anything is not going between my husband and this person. You know. But I trusted her, and my husband too trusted her. So we left our children for her, and she was able to take good care of them. I said initially that at times there are some people who could do things more than you do. You were able to do. I remember that the lady who stayed with us, whenever she weave hair for my two daughters, their teachers will admire it. But anytime, if I'm the one that do it, when they come back and say, Mommy, our teacher said that this hair is not fine, I'll be like, okay. So what am I? If there's any assignment that involves drawing, she's good at drawing, I'll just give it to her. Please help me to draw this thing for them. And she will do it. So we learn to trust people, and we learn to look for support system. Even as a career person, it's not everything that you can do so that you'll not be overwhelmed. When my husband realized that those people living with us, one way or the other, all of them have to leave our house, the issue of washing machine came in.
Okay.
So washing machine came in. So when these children, our children, when they were in school, each of them have at least 4 or 5 sets of uniform and socks. Because we knew that at times we would not have time to be washing cloth every 2 days. So we were intentional by having more uniform, more socks, so that I will not be overwhelmed with career and with every other thing. So we're able to manage all those things with understanding, because my husband understood what I was passing through. So I had to bring in some support. At times to go to the market, before I even If I'm not around, you will send some people, help me to get so, 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 and so. So, okay. He was able to support, but this generation, there are some men who are not supportive, who don't know how to do anything. The only thing he does is just to put down money. And money is not, everything is not about money. Sure. You need to show your support, help your wife one way or the other. Understand their love language. There are some men, anyway, it's not their fault, it's their background. They don't know how to do anything on the line. So as we are modeling our children now, both male and female, we should try and involve them in our household activities. Don't say because this one is a girl, this is the work she's going to do. This one is a boy. What are people who have only boys? Will they continue to work and work and work and work and work? So we should learn to have support system, both husband and wife. So because there are some husbands who are hardworking, while the wives are lazy. So we need to balance it as we are modeling children of this generation.
Thank you so much for that. Now, we are talking about lazy parenting now. But for me, I want to believe that someone that call himself or herself a parent, why would they be lazy? But do you think there are some reasons why we have lazy parenting in today's society? Because we are talking about modeling children, and these are the people that we consider not even knowing anything. They are innocent about a lot of things happening. And yet, some people are just not nonchalant about it.
This issue of laziness is not just a day work. Some people are lazy right from their parents' house. I heard of one lady who the parents happen to be richer, have so many housemaids around. Her mother will not allow her to do anything on the line. But the dad will always complain, let this girl do this, let this girl do this. But the mother did not understand. Until when she attended the program, and this lady was about getting wedded. So the mother now tends to be forcing her to do all those things she was not doing before. So she felt the mother was too tough, the mother ate her, the mother is not doing the right thing. So not until some people had to talk to her, that is for your own good. Your parents, when they started, maybe they were using just a room and parlor. But as you are growing, you met them in a mansion. They did not start like that. They never had all this housemaid, everything like that when they started. So you too, as you are going, there's a point you will get to that you have to be doing some of those things yourself. I could remember, though, I stayed with my grandparents, and I was the one that always do virtually everything in that house. But when I moved to my parents' house, I have some people who will do it. But when I got wedded, only two of us, I realized that I need to sweep, fetch water. Unfortunately, the house that we first lived in, there was no well water, nothing. I had to go and fetch water as early as possible before other people will get there. So there are so many things that we need to train our children about. Some children are lazy right from their home. Hey, you can't do it very well, oh. The mother will say, hey, you won't do it very well. Let me just help you to do it. By so doing, we are not inculcating good virtue into the life of those children. I could remember I told some of GS1 students in those days, I don't know, I just asked, who helped you to wash your uniform? 1 grandma. Your socks, 1 grandma. Your pants, 1 grandma. I said, tell your mother that Mrs. So and so said, henceforth, as you are bathing, you wash your pants, wash your socks, so that all those things will master you as you grow.
So what would you consider as some of the consequences of lazy or overwhelming parenting in the society today?
If you are lazy, it will show on the part of your children outside. Those are some of the examples of mothers who will forget that their children are yet to wash their lunch bag, carrying dirty food flasks to school. No. When my children were growing, as tiny as they were in those days, I look for something like this so that they will climb it immediately they come back from school. They wash their lunch bag, put it in the kitchen, because I cannot come and kill myself, as everybody will say. So, by so doing, they learn to do all those things. And when you see them, even if nobody tells them what to do, they know what to do. But if you are lazy and you are not able to inculcate good virtue, good moral into your children's life, it will show outside. It will show. That time at times, especially during Harmattan, that all the swords will be like dust. I will tell them, I'm not going to watch this thing. My husband will say, in Yoruba, Tani won bu. So in view of that, I will help them to watch it if I discover that they are just too tired, because they will close from school maybe around 5. Before getting home, you see that they are tired, but that notwithstanding, that will force them to do what they are supposed to do. They knew it. I don't allow washing of plates in the morning. No. It's in the evening. I don't allow sweeping of floor in the morning. It's in the evening, because I knew they will waste my time. So as parents, we must be intentional. I always tell them, pack your books in the evening so that I will not waste my time in the morning. And immediately once they just come back from school, I ask, do you have assignments? Yes, I have assignment. Okay. Do you know the assignment? Because most of the time, teacher gives parent assignment, not children.
Exactly.
So I'll ask them, I don't know it. If it's the one that I knew, I will help them. If the one that I don't know, I will call somebody somewhere to come and help them to do it. So that was how we were able then, before exams, maybe my own was too much, I'll go to school, collect past questions right from primary school for my children, so that we revise the past questions together. Before going into that, I remember that when we first married, after children, maybe 2, my husband said I should resign from work, because he will not be at home, I will not be at home. So he said it in Yoruba, ṣebí ká ṣáà ti máa jẹun ní aṣọ là ní rà, a lè máa tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ kán bú ọmọ tiwa lọ́la. So I paid the price, stay back at home, nurture them, do everything. Time for memory verses, time to play, time to beat them, time to do everything. So all those things really helped. So when I look at the price that I paid that time, I will say, God, I thank you. Because when you look at their counterparts, some of them don't even have discipline, no moral, anything. So lazy parents, most parents are lazy because it's not part of them. Are single is not part of them. Their parents were not intentional in raising them. So this generation must be intentional in raising our children. We must be intentional. All those things that you want them to do that will not waste your time, let them do it in the evening. Let them have their timetable. Even the one in the university, my last one, our timetable for our last examination is out now. I have it. So I'll be asking her, how far have you studied? At times I will say, Mommy, now. I say, yes, now we are in the school together. So even while in secondary school, at times she will bring her, no, we read together. I ask her a question. So all those, the parents should come to the level of their children and let the children know everything. I was asking one person that if I call your child and you are not there, what will your child say about you? Have you been able to balance their spiritual life, their education life, every aspect of life? Parents must be involved. There are some mothers who are not there for their children, while some daddies are there, some mothers are there, but they need to balance it.
So there is a need for us to balance. Just to corroborate your point, I think one of the consequences is also the fact that we have a lot of moral decadence in society today that is traceable to lazy parenting, because they are not paying attention to their social media activities, who they talk to, who their friends is. You don't even care about their well-being, and it is responsible for a lot of things going on wrong in the society today. I wish we could have more to talk about this, but I believe that a word is enough for the wise. We need to be intentional with parenting, because we need to be sacrificial, because it involves a lot of sacrifice. Your time, your emotional well-being will be drained, but at the end of the day, you will know that it's actually worth it. So I want to say many thanks to my guest on the show today, Mrs. Adebisi.
Thank you,
James, for your time on the program. We actually had a wonderful time, and I want to say thank you.
There was more to say, but because of the time,
thank you so much for coming. And this is what we're doing the culture for this week. Join us again next week for another episode of Hi Woman. And until then, please for parents, being intentional about it, and you will definitely eat the fruit of your labor. Also, I come your way again. My name is Temitope Oladipo. It's goodbye for now.